up, you guys? It's Jungle Poppy here. And do you guys ever get a cutting of a plant that you didn't expect, but then it just grew into something pretty amazing? Like this Begonia, what is this? Begonia Don Miller. So yeah, honestly, it started out as a small cutting like this, and then after a while, it just grew into this beautiful, beautiful plant. So I'm gonna show you guys how to propagate this and get it to something this size. All right, so a little bit about the care of this plant. First, I have been growing it in many different locations. Like I had it growing outside of the grow tent that I have. And it's done fine. Like this growth mostly was gained from growing it just in normal home conditions, getting a lot of filtered light, sometimes getting morning direct light. And in terms of medium, I just have it growing in leca, as well as like this small cutting that I have here, and it's done really amazing. For it, I don't really plan on potting it in soil or anything like that, just because I already know that it does really well in it, obviously. So yeah, what I'm gonna be doing is just basically cutting off the tops, and anywhere where I start seeing secondary growth, like smaller buds grow, I'm just gonna cut above there so that it allows the growth to continue growing. And then once that becomes a little bit more mature, then I'll chop it there. But yeah, just one more shot before it gets chopped up. Alrighty, so what I have to chop this plant up is a knife, and I like using a knife just because it doesn't crush the stem like a normal scissor would do. So I would just look at the cane, and then this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the secondary growth coming from the main stem. So I'm just gonna cut right above that and cut right there, and then slice, and then here is the cutting. And I just love how metallic the leaves look. So that's one right there. And then, so I'm just gonna let this grow into the main stem. And then here is another one. I'm just gonna cut right here. Cut it. Okay. Clean cut. That's not blood. That's the plant. Here's the back side. And I hope this unfurling leaf does fine, so I'm actually gonna stick it in water before I just stick it in leca. That's another. And then let's check this one. So this one is actually longer and it has no secondary growth coming from it. So I'm just gonna chop it from, well, this one I'm gonna do an experiment. I'm gonna cut it, well, let's see. It's a top cutting. I'm cutting that, okay. So I'm gonna cut this here first. Ooh. Cut there. Okay. Cutting. And then I'm gonna cut that, and then cut this one here. Okay. And then I'm gonna cut right here. Go. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off these bottom leaves. and stick that in water. We'll see how that goes. Okay, put that off. There we go. So I'm gonna try growing it like this. Usually I'm used to growing it as top cuttings, but we'll see how those turn out. And then this will allow the smaller undergrowth to really start growing. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna do that to all of them. Just because I have this plant growing in my room and it really doesn't give me a lot of space to walk around, so it's gonna get cut. So I'm gonna get cutting and then I'll come back. Okay. All right, so I have this cutting that I accidentally cut and I wasn't looking at if there was secondary growth. So this is like the top right here. This is more of the bottom section. So ideally I would want this to be up here, but that wasn't the case. So what I'm gonna try to do is do a cutting here. And I'm gonna do like a leaf cutting. And Begonia Don Miller it's a cane begonia, so that's why it's kind of harder to cut through when the stem is a little bit older. So here is the cutting, and I think I shall just I will just leave it like that. Okay, so there's that, and here are the rest of the cuttings. So I am done cutting all the canes and propagating this plant, so let me show you the aftermath. So here are the main cane cuttings, and I just stuck them into water, and once the roots start to develop, then that's when I stick them into leca. And then for the smaller cuttings, I'm gonna do a little experiment and actually put them into fluval stratum aquarium soil. And I've done this for my Hoyas and other plants, so I haven't done it with my begonias yet. So this is a little experiment. I already know that they should work, but it should be a nice little project. And then I do have these two cuttings here that I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna stick them in water, honestly. And then, yeah. But what I really wanna show is the mother plant and how much pruning and shaping the plant really adds to like the lushness of it. And I already know that these side shoots will just develop into main canes and really fill out and become more bush-like. And you can kind of see where I propagated before. Maybe you can, but you can see that it's already been so old since I've cut it, and it's like really woody. And yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Again, I'll make an update video once I have stuff to update you guys on. But this is the Begonia Don Miller, and yeah, see you guys next time. Peace, have a good day, bye. There's a fly.